You gave me hope when hope was all but gone. A second chance to sing a brand new song. You opened up my eyes to see when you rescued me. Rescued me. You showed the way when there was no way out. Cleared up my mind when you erased all doubt. You made me strong when I was weak. You rescued me. Rescued me. Through every storm of life, I know you're by my side. So I am holding on to your promises. You are the God who holds my future, all my dreams. So I am holding on. You'll never let go of me. I'm holding on to you. You are my God. I know you'll see me through. Hey! You are my God. I'm holding on to you. You are my God. I know you'll see me through. Hey! You are my God. I'm holding on to you. You are my God. I know you'll see me through. Hey! You are my God. I'm holding on to you. You are my God. I know you'll see me through. Hey! Through every storm of life, I know you're by my side. So I am holding on to your promises. You are the God who holds my future, all my dreams. So I am holding on. You'll never let go of me. Storm of life, I know you're by my side. So I am holding on to your promises. You are the God who holds my future, all my dreams. So I am holding on. You'll never let go of me. Holding on to you. You are my God. I know you'll see me through. Hey! You are my God. I'm holding on to you. You are my God. I know you'll see me through. Hey!
Have you ever seen ants? Well, Miss Teresa's got a pretty neat story about ants. And some interesting facts. There was a king named Solomon. So I want you to think about Solomon and ants. Preacher, what are we doing? I don't know. You'll have to find out. Take it away, Teresa.
Do you know how old Solomon was when he became king? He was 20 years old, and he admitted he didn't know much about it. But one night, God came to him in a dream, and you know what he asked him? He told him and asked him one question. If you can have anything you want, what would it be? And you know what Solomon thought and said? No, it wasn't Nintendo or anything like that, or any of the software games or anything you play. No, he asked for wisdom. And God gave it to him. And over the course of Solomon's life, as he made everything better, he wrote a book called Proverbs. And that's in the Old Testament. And one of his stories was about ants.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verses 6 through 8.
King Solomon was young when he became ruler of Israel after his father David. One night, God spoke to him in a dream.
Ask for anything you want me to give you.
What? Solomon had just been given the greatest gift of all time. He could have asked for anything. Unlimited money, the power to defeat all of his enemies, or even to be the best-loved, longest-living king of all time. Instead, though, Solomon made a different ask.
Lord, you have now made me king, but I'm only a little child. I don't know how to carry out my duties, so give me a heart that understands. Then I can rule over your people. I can tell the difference between what is right and what is wrong.
Solomon asked for wisdom, and God gave it to him. In fact, Solomon became known as the wisest man to ever live. Over the course of his life, he shared many wise sayings that were later recorded in the book of Proverbs.
These sayings are to help people do what is just and fair, to help young people learn wisdom. Only fools refuse to listen and learn.
The wisdom recorded in Proverbs gives godly advice about nearly everything, from using words wisely to staying away from trouble. But the most famous passages talk about the value of hard work.
You people who don't want to work, think about the ant. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, it has no leader or ruler, but it stores up its food in summer. It gathers its food at harvest time.
When was the last time you paid attention to an ant, other than the one that you were going to squash on the kitchen floor? To better understand what Solomon means about work, well, I think it's time we take a closer look. Did you know that there are about 1 million ants on Earth for every single human? Yikes! My skin is crawling right now. But just look at how amazing these little guys are. Like Solomon said, nobody lays out a set of rules for them. Nobody offers them an allowance or more screen time if they finish their work. God made them in such an incredible way that they stick with it and get the job done. In fact, some ants can lift up to 50 times their own weight. If you were that strong, you could lift an entire car. And ants use that super strength to store up their food, just like we see in Proverbs. And ants also work smart. They leave a special trail of chemicals, called pheromones, that tells them where they've been so they don't get lost or repeat themselves. And ants are incredibly creative. They actually farm aphids in order to have a constant supply of the honeydew aphids release. And the ants' creativity doesn't stop there. In times of flooding, ants will even protect the queen by forming a lifeboat with their own bodies. Just like Solomon reminds us, ants do whatever it takes to gather up the food they need and to protect their colony. They know how to get the job done, and that's with only about 250,000 brain cells. But you? God made you with 10 million brain cells. He's given you everything you need to work strong, smart, and creatively. And because God has given us so much, there's so much more we can do. In the New Testament, Luke records some of Jesus' words.
Much will be required of everyone who has been given much.
You are creative and strong. You have a brain that works like no one else's. You are determined. And most of all, you are created in God's image. That means that you can work hard at whatever it takes to show love to God and the people He's made. Sometimes that might look like helping raise funds to provide clean water for kids on the other side of the world. Sometimes that might look like cleaning your room before your mom has to remind you 5 times. Or working hard to help your little sister to build an epic Lego palace. Whatever your work, remember Solomon's wisdom.
You people who don't want to work, think about the ant. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, it has no leader or ruler, but it stores up its food in summer. It gathers its food at harvest time.
Be wise. Work hard. God has given you everything you need to follow through.
Now remember, the ants can carry 50% of their body weight. Now, if I could do 50% of my body weight more, I could lift a car. And they work really hard and they work really smart. And I just want you to think about the fact that this story wants us to be responsible and to work hard. Let's pray.
Repeat after me. Dear Lord, thank you for loving us. Thank you for Jesus. Help us to turn to you whenever we're scared. We know you're with us. And you help us, just like Solomon. In Jesus' name, amen.
There's a whole lot of change coming your way, 'cause like it or not, nothing stays the same. So hold on tight and follow real close. God is good and He's in control. Clap your hands like this. Now do the twist. Stomp your feet the same. Now sing this way. There's a whole lot of change coming your way, 'cause like it or not, nothing stays the same. So hold on tight and follow real close. God is good and He's in control. Clap your hands like this. Now let's bump fist. Stomp your feet the same. Now whistle this way. Change it one more time. Clap your hands like this. Yeah, we're gonna do the twist. Stomp your feet the same. Now shout this way. There's a whole lot of change coming your way, 'cause like it or not, nothing stays the same.